Okay, so different kind of sentence in the subjunctive. In the first set of sentences, we saw a person or subject number one, and then a verb in the present tense, and then the word que, and then person or subject number two, and then a verb in the subjunctive. Now with this new kind of sentence, we have a structure that's a little bit different. So there's some things in Spanish called impersonal expressions, and what those impersonal expressions are is basically they use the word es, and then they use generally an adjective. So necesario, bueno, mejor, importante, urgente, etc. You can find a complete list of those in your materials for this course. I have a couple of examples up on the board. These are one of the easiest sentences to do in the subjunctive because there's only one blank to fill in. And if you're not that great in the present tense, you don't have to worry about doing your verb in the present tense. Is there a verb in the present tense in this sentence? Yes, but we don't have to worry about it because it's already done for us. So let me show you kind of sort of what's going on here. So let's consider this a new structure. We're still basing it off that same sentence structure, basic formula that we had from the last set of sentences, but we basically just took stuff away from it. So instead of having a person or subject number one in this sentence, we don't. We just have an impersonal expression. So it's going to be es necesario, es bueno, es mejor, es importante, es whatever. Then we're going to have a que. Then we're going to have person or subject. Usually after the case where you'll hear me say this is person or subject number two, but there's only going to be one person or subject in the second clause or the second half of the sentence. So this is a person or subject where you see P/S. And then we're going to have a verb in the subjunctive, and the verb in the subjunctive is going to be conjugated based off of whoever that person or subject is. So here we have our impersonal expression, que, the person or subject, verb in the subjunctive. All the things I have up here on the wall for you will be the verbs in the subjunctive that I want you to fill in. You're going to get a lot of practice for this if you're just doing this stuff within the course and the practice that you already have available to you with your online component and on the syllabus if you're reading those pages or the documents that I've put on our course's site, etc. So what I wanted to practice with you was simply just filling in the blanks with the subjunctive to get even more practice all the time in conjugating different verbs in the subjunctive and being able to recognize, oh, that's a regular verb, oh, that's irregular, oh, that's stem change, spell change, cargar, are, a combination of, stuff like that. So in the front half of these sentences, we have our impersonal expressions. Es necesario on the first couple means it's necessary. Es bueno, it's good, or it's better, or it's best, depending on the circumstance. And es mejor, which will most of the time be it's best or it's better, depending on the circumstance. So, are there more impersonal expressions? Of course, but I just wanted to give you a couple of examples. When I mentioned a few minutes ago the thing about do we have a verb in the present tense in this sentence? Yes, we do. We just don't have to worry about it because they've already done it for us. Where is the verb in the present tense? The verb in the present tense is right here, es, in our impersonal expression. If we think back to ser in the present tense, soy, eres, es, somos, son. Obviously, we still have a verb in the present tense, but it's part of that expression, that impersonal expression, es necesario, or es mejor, or whatever it might be. So we're going to go through and we're going to try to figure out what all of these blanks, how we fill in all of these blanks, and try to determine what kind of verbs they are. And then we'll go through and figure out what all the sentences mean and how to say them. So we're not even going to worry right now about the sentence, honestly. We're going to look up here at our verb, try to figure out what kind of verb it is based off of Carla, conjugate it, fill in the blank as if it were a quiz or a homework assignment or something like that, and then we'll worry about what it means. So, forgetting about anything else in the sentence, we have entender, which means to understand. When we look at that verb, hopefully we can recognize that that verb entender is an E to IE stem change verb. If you are asking yourself, how am I supposed to know that? The only answer that I can give you is in a Spanish 1 class, when you are doing present tense, you learn or hopefully learn, or are supposed to learn, what are the stem change verbs, and that is still going to hold true right now. So we have entender, E-N-T-E-N-D-E-R, and it is an E to I-E stem change verb. If we went through all the motions and we took that verb to the yo box of the present tense, we would get entiendo, entiendo, we would drop the O, and then we would add the appropriate subjunctive ending. Since that's an ER verb, our subjunctive endings are kind of like AR verb endings. So we need to conjugate entender, our E to IE stem change verb based off of Carla, that's just she. And so we would do like this. E-N-T-I-E, accounting for that E to I-E stem change, N-D, and then my subjunctive ending, A, entienda, entienda. Without caring what the sentence means for right now, we're going to go on to the next one. The next verb in the subjunctive is memorizar. Memorizar means to memorize. And even if you have never seen this verb before, you should be able to look at it and see that it ends in what? Z-A-R, so it is obviously a ZAR verb. That Z, if it's a ZAR verb, is going to change to a C. So we need to keep that in mind. You guys will notice that in the first set of examples that I gave you, I made them on purpose all regular happy verbs, and now I'm giving you a stem change verb, and this is a ZAR verb, and we'll see what kind of verb comes next. So memorizar is a ZAR verb. Again, that Z is going to change to a C. If I took us through the motions and we did yo conjugation of the present tense, we would have memorizo, memorizo. We would drop the O, supposedly just add subjunctive endings. Since this is an AR verb, it would be kind of ER verb looking endings. But that Z has to change to a Z. We know that we have to conjugate this verb in the subjunctive based off of yo, because we can see that yo is a subject here. So we're going to do like this. Memorice. And how did we get there? Once again, memorice. M-E-M-O-R-I-C-E. Because this C used to be what letter? It used to be a Z. Why did we change it to a Z? Because it is a ZAR verb. And that E, where do we get that? It's just a subjunctive ending for AR verbs conjugated based off of yo. Yo memorice. Moving on to the next sentence, hacer. If we take it back to the yo box of the present tense, it's hago, H-A-G-O. If we remember, if we see an unexpected G or an unexpected Z in the yo conjugation of the present tense, what does it mean? It means that we have a spell change verb on our hands. So we have an unexpected G in the yo conjugation of the present tense. When we take it back to hago, H-A-G-O, and if we wanted to conjugate it, that G would follow us through to every single conjugation, including the nosotros conjugation. So if you have any trouble with stem change, cargar or zar, or a now spell change, look back at the prior videos. Hacer obviously means to do or to make. In this sentence, we'll see later that it's going to probably mean to do, but we need to put in the subjunctive conjugated based off of ellos. So we're going to go through the steps. We already said that the yo conjugation of the present tense of the verb hacer happens to be hago, H-A-G-O. We're going to drop that O, and then we're going to add appropriate subjunctive ending conjugated based off of ellos. So what we will fill in the blank will be hagan, H-A-G-A-N. Hacer in the subjunctive conjugated based off of ellos. The last one, I gave you guys an easy verb. Comer was the second verb that I introduced to you in one of the first videos. It's a regular happy verb. I thought I would end this on an easier note. It's an ER verb. It's happy, it's regular, and basically all you have to do is just add the appropriate subjunctive endings. So they're going to look kind of like AR verb endings, because remember we do the opposite endings with the subjunctive. We're going to conjugate comer, to eat, based off of tú. So we're going to do like this. C-O-M-A-S, and our subjunctive of comer conjugated based off tú will be comas. So now we're going to look at all of our sentences. First, focusing once again on what kind of verbs these are, starting from the bottom up. Comer is a regular happy verb. It's an ER verb, but we have these AR kind of looking endings because it's subjunctive, and that's what subjunctive is about. It's about opposite endings. We have hacer. What kind of verb is that? That is a spell change verb. Then we have memorizar. What kind of verb is that? That's a czar verb. And then entender, and that is a stem change, E to IE stem change verb. What do these sentences mean? Es necesario means it's necessary that Carla understand the subjunctive, el subjuntivo. So this sentence, es necesario que Carla entienda el subjuntivo. Es necesario que Carla entienda el subjuntivo. It's necessary that Carla understand or understands the subjunctive. The next sentence, again, we have es necesario, so it's necessary that I memorize the vocabulary. Hint, hint, maybe you would consider doing that. Vocabulary, remember, that's also a component of the course. Es necesario que yo memorice el vocabulario. It's necessary that I memorize the vocabulary. Down here, es bueno, it's good. It's going to be the best use or the best meaning of es bueno for this sentence. Es bueno que ellos hagan la tarea en línea. Es bueno que ellos hagan la tarea en línea. It's good that they, remember, hacer can mean to do or to make, and I said a few minutes ago that probably in this sentence it would be like to do, because you do homework. So it's good that they do the homework online. Like, the online component, the activities for extra practice, stuff like that. It's good that they do the homework online. And last but not least, es mejor usually will mean either it's better or it's best that you eat muchas verduras or muchas vegetales. There are two different ways there. Other ways depending on dialectical terminology in other countries. But verduras and vegetales are two ways to say vegetables. And obviously, muchas verduras, or it would be muchos vegetales, because vegetales happens to be masculine and plural noun. So, es mejor que tú comas muchas verduras. Let's just pretend that's the sentence. And it would be, it's best, or it's better that you eat a lot of vegetables. So eat healthy and memorize your vocabulary and do your homework online and understand the subjunctive